stop. Do not scroll past this video if you value your ability to walk, move, or live without pain in the next 10 years. I need you to listen to me very closely because your body is trying to tell you something right now. And if you ignore it, the consequences could be irreversible. Imagine driving your car on the highway and suddenly the check engine light starts flashing red. Would you grab a piece of black tape, cover it up, and keep driving at 80 miles per hour? Of course not. That would be catastrophic. Yet millions of people do this every single day with the most complex vital machine they will ever own, their spine. 3 days ago, a gentleman came into my office. He was only 42 years old, but he walked like he was 85. He told me, "Doctor, Mandell, my back just went out this morning while I was brushing my teeth." I looked at his x-rays and I had to tell him the hard truth. "Sir, your back didn't go out this morning. Your back has been screaming at you for 5 years, and you've been pressing the mute button with painkillers and bad posture. Today, I am going to expose the 5 silent alarms, the warning signs that your spine is suffocating, compressing, and crying out for help. Specifically, number 3 is the one sign that most doctors miss until it requires surgery. But here is the good news. I am also going to show you exactly how to fix it naturally, starting today. You see, in my 30+ years of practice treating thousands of patients, I have learned one undeniable truth. The spine is the lifeline of your entire existence. It houses the spinal cord, the superhighway that connects your brain to every single cell, tissue, and organ in your body. If that highway gets blocked, the signal dies. And when the signal dies, disease begins. So, I want to challenge you. Do not just watch this video passively. I want you to treat this as a diagnostic session. We are going to go through these 5 signs together. I want you to check yourself as we go. If you recognize even one of these signs, you need to take action immediately. Let's dive into the anatomy of what is actually happening. Think of your spine like a stack of blocks, 24 movable vertebrae. Between each block is a shock absorber called a disc. These discs are like jelly donuts. They have a tough outer ring and a soft gel-like center. When your spine is healthy, these blocks move freely, the discs are hydrated, and the nerves that exit between the blocks are happy. But we live in a modern world that is actively hostile to spinal health. We sit for 10 hours a day. We stare at screens. We live in a state of chronic stress. This creates what I call micro-trauma. It's not one big accident. It's the accumulation of thousands of tiny insults to your spine. This leads us directly to warning sign number 1, chronic neck stiffness and heavy head syndrome. Now you might think, "Oh, Dr. Mandell, everyone has a stiff neck." No, that is common, but it is not normal. Here is the physics behind it. Your head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds, roughly the weight of a bowling ball. When your ears are aligned over your shoulders, your neck muscles handle that weight effortlessly. But for every inch your head moves forward, looking at a phone, a laptop, or driving, the effective weight of your head doubles. At 3 inches of forward head posture, your neck is grappling with 42 pounds of force. Imagine holding a bowling ball close to your chest. Easy, right? Now hold it out at arm's length. How long until your arm screams? That is your neck all day long. When this happens, the muscles in the back of your neck, the suboccipital muscles, become rock hard. They shorten, they become fibrotic. This creates a clamp down effect on the delicate nerves and blood vessels at the base of your skull. If you wake up and your neck feels like it's made of concrete, or if you feel a constant need to crack your own neck just to get relief, your spine is shouting at you. It's saying, "I can't hold this load anymore." This leads to a fascinating physiological reaction. When the neck curve is lost, when you lose that beautiful C shape or lordosis, the spinal cord itself gets stretched. A 2018 study in the Journal of Neurosurgery, Spine showed that loss of cervical lordosis actually stretches the spinal cord by up to 24%, causing ischemia. That means lack of blood flow to the neurons. You are literally choking your nervous system. Let's try a quick test right now. Sit up straight, Take 2 fingers and place them on your chin. Now, draw your chin straight back, like you're making a double chin. Do you feel a pulling sensation at the base of your skull? Does it feel tight, painful? If you feel resistance there, you are already in stage 1 of spinal degeneration. But hold on, because if you ignore this stiffness, it evolves into something much more sinister. Warning sign number 2, cervicogenic headaches. This is not a migraine. This is not a sinus headache. This is a headache that starts at the base of the skull and wraps around your head like a tight band, settling behind your eyes. Why does this happen? It's pure anatomy. The nerves that exit the upper neck, specifically C1, C2, and C3, communicate directly with the trigeminal nucleus in the brainstem. This nucleus is the pain center for the head and face. When your upper neck is compressed from bad posture or misalignment, it sends chaotic signals to the brainstem. Your brain interprets this neck pain as head pain. I have had patients come in with migraines they've had for 20 years. They've taken every pill, had every scan. I examine them, find a rotation in the second cervical vertebra, make a gentle correction, release the suboccipital muscles, and boom, the headache vanishes instantly. It wasn't a brain problem, it was a spine problem. The spine was screaming, but they were treating the head. If you find yourself reaching for ibuprofen 3 times a week for tension headaches, stop masking the symptom and look at the neck. Now, we need to talk about the big one. This is the sign that terrifies me when I see it in patients, because it means the damage has progressed significantly. Warning sign number 3, numbness, tingling, or pins and needles in the extremities. Do not ignore this. If you feel tingling in your fingers, your hands, your toes, or down your leg, this is a code red. This sensation is called paresthesia. Think of a garden hose. If water is flowing freely, that's a healthy nerve. If you step on that hose, the water flow stops or sputters. That is exactly what is happening to your nerve. When a disc herniates or bulges, or when bone spurs form from arthritis, they encroach on the space where the nerve exits the spine. This is called the intervertebral foramen. If that nerve gets pinched, it doesn't just cause pain, it causes dysfunction. The scary part is that pain is often the last thing to show up. Numbness comes first. If your pinky and ring finger go numb, that's often the C8 or T1 nerve root in the lower neck. If your thumb goes numb, that's C6. If you have sciatica shooting pain or numbness down the back of the leg, that's the L4, L5, or S1 nerve in the lower back being crushed. Why is this so dangerous? Because nerves don't just carry sensation, they carry motor signals. If you ignore the tingling long enough, the next stage is muscle atrophy. The muscle literally starts to die and shrink because it isn't getting the electrical signal to fire. I've seen people lose the ability to lift their foot, a condition called foot drop, because they ignored the tingling in their leg for too long. Here's a quick way to differentiate. If you have numbness in your hand, bring your hands together in a prayer position in front of your chest, but point your fingers down. Press the backs of your hands together. Hold that for 60 seconds. This is Phelan's test. If this reproduces your symptoms, you might have carpal tunnel syndrome or wrist problem. But if you tilt your head back and rotate it to the side of the numbness, and that makes it worse, that is a neck problem. That is your spine screaming. Warning, sign number 4. Persistent lower back pain that shifts when you move. We call this mechanical back pain. It feels like a dull ache when you sit, but sharpens when you stand up, or vice versa. This is practically an epidemic. Why? Because sitting is the new smoking. When you sit, you place 40% to 50% more pressure on your lumbar discs than when you stand. Over time, the hip flexor muscles, the psoas major, become short and tight. The psoas attaches to the front of your lumbar spine and pulls it forward. When you stand up after sitting for 4 hours, that tight muscle yanks on your lower back, jamming the facet joints together. That catch you feel, that oof, I need a second to straighten up feeling, that is your facet joints grinding. It is a warning sign of instability. Your body creates muscle spasms to splint the area, to protect it. So you feel tight, but the tightness is a symptom of the underlying instability caused by the psoas imbalance. And finally, warning sign number 5, a general loss of mobility and shrinking. Have you checked your blind spot while driving lately? Did you turn your neck, or did you have to turn your entire torso? Can you bend down and tie your shoes without groaning? Loss of range of motion is the silent killer of spinal health. We have a saying in physiology, motion is lotion. The discs in your spine are avascular. They have no direct blood supply. They only get nutrients and get rid of waste through a process called imbibition. This happens when you move. But pumping action of walking, twisting, and bending sucks nutrients in and pushes waste out. If you stop moving, the discs starve. They dehydrate. They become brittle and thin. This is why people get shorter as they age. It's not just old age. It's the discs drying out and collapsing. If you feel like you are stiffening up, like the Tin Man without oil, your spine is starving. Now, I know this sounds frightening, and it should be a wake-up call, but here is where the hope begins. Your body is designed to heal. It is resilient. It is waiting for you to give it the right tools. We are going to shift gears now. I am going to give you a comprehensive, natural solution protocol. We aren't just treating symptoms here, we are treating the root cause. We are going to tackle this from 4 angles: nutrition, physical decompression, breathing, and lifestyle ergonomics. Let's start with the fuel. You cannot build a strong house with termites and rotten wood. You cannot heal a spine with inflammation and sugar. Part 1. The nutritional protocol for spinal regeneration. The enemy of your spine is inflammation. When a nerve is irritated, your body releases inflammatory cytokines. This causes swelling, which puts more pressure on the nerve, creating a vicious cycle. We need to break that cycle. First, you need to understand the power of omega-3 fatty acids. I'm not talking about a random fish oil pill you buy at the gas station. You need high-quality EPA and DHA. A 2006 study in surgical neurology found that 1,000 of 200 milligrams of omega-3 seconds per day was as effective as ibuprofen for reducing neck and back pain, with none of the side effects. It lowers the production of prostaglandin E2, a major inflammatory chemical. Next, magnesium. Magnesium is the master mineral for muscle relaxation. Most of us are deficient. If your muscles are in a constant state of spasm, pulling on your vertebrae, you need magnesium. I recommend magnesium glycinate, 400 milligrams before bed. It absorbs well and doesn't cause stomach upset. It allows the muscles to let go, giving your spine a break while you sleep. But here is the secret weapon: hydration. Remember, your discs are mostly water. At night while you sleep, your discs rehydrate and expand. If you are dehydrated, they can't refill. You wake up with flat, brittle discs. Drink a large glass of water first thing in the morning and keep hydrated throughout the day. Add a pinch of Celtic sea salt to your water for the trace minerals that help drive that fluid into the tissues. Also consider turmeric and curcumin, but you must take it with black pepper to activate it. This is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories on earth. It targets the NF-κB pathway, essentially turning off the genetic switch for inflammation. Part 2. The physical decompression techniques. Now, let's get moving. We need to physically take the pressure off these nerves. I'm going to teach you 3 movements you can do right now. Technique A, the chin tuck for the neck. Sit up straight. Imagine a string pulling the top of your head to the ceiling. Now glide your chin straight back. Do not look down. Look straight ahead. You are making a double chin. Hold for 3 seconds. Release. Do this 10 times. This strengthens the deep cervical flexors and stretches the tight suboccipitals. It literally reverses the text neck posture. You will feel a release at the base of your skull. Do this every hour you are at a computer. Technique B, the Mackenzie extension for the lower back. If you have a disc bulge, It usually pushes backward because of all the forward bending we do. We need to push it back in. Lie on your stomach on the floor. Place your hands under your shoulders like you are about to do a push-up. Keep your hips glued to the floor and slowly press your upper body up. Keep the lower back relaxed. Breathe out. Hold for 2 seconds. Lower down. Repeat 10 times. This pumping action encourages the disc material to move back to the center, away from the nerve. Note, if this causes leg pain, stop immediately. But for most, this is centralizing relief. Technique C, the doorway stretch for the chest and posture. Your shoulders are likely rolled forward, pulling on your neck. Find a doorway. Place your forearms on the door frame at a 90-degree angle. Step through with one leg until you feel a deep stretch across your chest. Hold for 30 seconds. This opens up the thoracic cavity, allows your shoulders to drop back, and takes the tension off the neck muscles. Part 3. Breathing and the vagus nerve. You might be wondering, Dr. Allen, what does breathing have to do with back pain? Everything. Your diaphragm is the roof of your core. It attaches to your lumbar vertebrae. When you are stressed, you take shallow breaths into your chest using your neck muscles, scalenes. This creates chronic tension in the neck. We need to activate diaphragmatic breathing. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds and try to push only your belly hand out. Your chest should not move. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. This does 2 things. 1. It mechanically stabilizes the lumbar spine from the inside out, creating intra-abdominal pressure that acts like an internal back brace. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which shifts your body from fight or flight sympathetic to rest and digest parasympathetic. This lowers cortisol, lowers muscle tension, and lowers pain sensitivity. Part 4. Lifestyle ergonomics. The 24-hour spine. You spend 1/3 of your life sleeping. If your sleep position is wrong, you are undoing all your good work. If you are a side sleeper, you must have a pillow that fills the gap between your ear and your mattress perfectly, so your neck is neutral, not tilted up, not sagging down. Put a pillow between your knees to keep your hips square. If you sleep on your back, put a pillow under your knees to take the tension off the psoas muscle and flatten the lumbar spine. And please, I beg of you, do not sleep on your stomach. It forces your neck into extreme rotation for hours, strangling the vertebral arteries and nerves. When you are sitting, use the 90-90-90 rule. Elbows at 90 degrees, hips at 90 degrees, knees at 90 degrees. Raise your monitor so the top of the screen is at eye level. If you look down at a laptop, prop it up and use an external keyboard. These small micro adjustments add up to massive relief over weeks and months. Deeper scientific insights. Why conventional medicine misses this. Often conventional medicine looks at the what, but misses the why. They see the herniation on the MRI and say, we need to cut it out. But they don't ask, why did it herniate in the first place? It herniated because of 20 years of poor biomechanics. If you cut the disc but don't fix the posture, the level above or below will fail next. This is called adjacent segment disease. A study in Spine Journal showed that spinal fusion patients often need another surgery within 10 years because the transfer of force destroys the neighboring discs. We want to avoid that. We want to restore function. We want to stimulate mechanoreceptors. These are nerve endings in your joints that tell your brain where your body is in space. When your spine is stiff, these receptors go silent. Your brain loses its map of your back. By introducing movement-specific, targeted movement, we wake up these receptors. We turn the lights back on. This is neuroplasticity in action. You can retrain your brain to hold your body correctly. The implementation blueprint, your 7-day challenge. I don't want you to just learn this. I want you to live it. Here is your challenge for the next 7 days. Morning, drink 16 ounces of water with a pinch of sea salt. Do 1 minute of cat-cow stretches on your hands and knees to lubricate the spine. During the day, set a timer for every 45 minutes. When it goes off, stand up. Do 10 chin tucks. Do 5 backward shoulder rolls. Walk for 2 minutes. Evening, 10 minutes of moist heat on the neck or back to increase blood flow. Lie on the floor with your legs up on a chair, 90-degree angle at hips, knees. This is called static back. Gravity will gently settle your sacrum and lower back flat against the floor. Stay there for 5 minutes and practice your diaphragmatic breathing. Take your magnesium. Advanced strategies. Decompression. For those of you ready to go a step further, look into spinal decompression. You can do this at home with an inversion table if your doctor clears you. Avoid if you have high blood pressure or glaucoma. Or simply perform a kitchen sink decompression. Stand at your kitchen sink. Hold the edge. Keep your arms straight. Slowly lean back and squat down, letting your body weight hang from your arms. You will feel a beautiful traction in your lower back. This creates negative pressure inside the disc, sucking the bulge back in and sucking nutrients in. A message of hope. Listen to me. I know what it feels like to be in pain. I know the fear that comes with that numbness in the fingers or that sharp catch in the back. It makes you feel old. It makes you feel fragile. But I am here to tell you that your body is incredibly resilient. I have seen patients in their 70 seconds and 80 seconds regain mobility they thought was lost forever. I have seen people cancel their surgeries because they committed to these protocols. Your spine is the mast of your ship. If the mast is broken, the sails cannot catch the wind. But if you align the mast, if you strengthen the rigging, you can weather any storm. You have the knowledge now. The check engine light is no longer a mystery. You know what it means, and you have the tools to fix it. Do not wait for the catastrophic failure. Do not wait for the day you can't get out of bed. Start today. Do that chin tuck right now. Drink that water. Fix your posture. I want you to make a commitment to yourself. In the comments below, I want you to write, "I will heal my spine." Declare it. Join the community of thousands who are taking control of their health. Share this video with someone you love, your spouse, your parent, your friend who is always complaining about their back. You might just save them from a lifetime of pain. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because in my next video, I am going to reveal the 3 sleeping positions that are destroying your hips and how to fix them. You do not want to miss that. Remember, you have one body, one spine, and one life. Treat it with the respect it deserves. Your body will thank you.